Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the MTG Arena Run. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the, probably I would say more promising decks after doing edits. It's the Selesnya Pride deck. Actually, if you have been playing through the beta and you've been getting the new two-color decks, you'd see that the newer deck is also a token-based deck. There are still some cats there, but I think it's a bit more diversified. We're still keeping a bit of the cat team, but we've also diversified a little bit. So without further ado, let's take a look at what we've got. So, okay, so let's go to our decks. I should have done this first. So let's look over the deck list. We're keeping both. We're trying to keep both the life gain team, particularly for one card, Crested Sunmare. If you could get 2 or more, that'd be great. In fact, I've seen some lists, some decks where they have 4 of Crested Sunmare and they have 4 of Diamond Mare. Let's take a look at that one. Also a horse, so it actually gets indestructible too. But more importantly, if you do gain life whenever you cast spells of the chosen color, so it kind of feeds it feeds the Crested Sunmare a bit. Quite decent stuff if you ask me. But let's see. Let's start off with our 1-drops. We are keeping a token team as well. So Sacred Cat, very good drop, especially with the Embalm. Basically, we're hoping to embalm this later. Ovia Pashiri, basically a one-off from Aderiv. No, this is from Kaladesh. So since we are going wide, we will both of her modes are beneficial over time. Single copy of Legion's Landing, because why not? It also gives us a creature with lifelink, not a cat, but it's okay. Speaking of cats, 2 copies of Adorned Pouncer. I originally had this at 3, if I'm not mistaken. I think I still had it at 2. The idea was that an early beater that could become a much bigger beater later on. Ajani's Pridemate is one of our payoffs. It's not we're not solely dependent on Crested Sunmare. The idea here, we try to, let's see how buff we can make the Pridemate a bit. Anointer Priest is one of our enablers, so we generate tokens. It gives us some health. The health will feed the Pridemate. It will feed the Sunmare. Good stuff. Servant of Conduit. This one I added a bit late because if you can see our curve here, yeah, it's a very wonky curve. Very high on the 2 count, but we also are very high on the 4, the 5. The 6 is a bit of a weird one, but we're also very high in 4 and 5, so we do want to accelerate from 2 to 4 if possible. But we're not completely dependent on it. Speaking of ways to accelerate, Mentor of the Meek, one of our weaknesses was some card draw. I originally had the Desert Cycling package, but that one was very, very poor. So, thank goodness, Core 19, Mentor of the Meek. 2 copies of Pride Sovereign. Originally, I had it at 3, but over time, this became the weakest part of the deck. I guess it was better against control matchups, but when you're still facing off against mono red aggro, this is the weaker part. Still decent, though. Single copy of Shalai, because we are generating a lot of creatures, so at least give them something to think about before having to go through the rest of our board. 2 copies of Anointed Procession is probably the right amount. You kind of want to draw into 1 most of the time. Drawing 2 is a bit of overkill, so 2 copies is okay. 3 copies of Cast Out, single copy of Ixalan's Binding. This is balanced off in the sideboard, more or less. Single copy of Huatli. This one's I'm just trying it out. Though if we do get her to ultimate, we will get some form of card draw too, so that's great. It's also relatively cheap too, though. To be fair, Huati doesn't really do much, so this is probably one of the easier cuts if I have to make a sideboard change. Again, I mentioned the Crested Sunmare. I guess 2 is better, but we are approaching rotation, so I'm usually running with 1. Single copy of Lyra Dawnbringer. Just as hard to deal with as Crested Sunmare. Basically, the deck is tuned more for dealing against aggro. It has a pretty decent matchup against mono red. if I keep the correct hand. And additional payoff: 2 copies of Regal Caracal, 2 copies of Tender Shoot Dryad. Basically ways to generate more and more tokens. Single copy of Anjani Unyielding. Again, this one's a test case. I never got the chance to cast him, but he is quite decent at 6 mana. Can act as additional removal. We're a bit removal light on the main board, so a lot of our removals on the sideboard too. So we'll go over the lands a bit shortly. Sideboard, Seal Away. This originally was in the main, but it was competing with way too many slots, and I really needed more higher creature density. In case it wasn't enough, let's say I was going against white-blue control, I needed to make more early plays. 4 copies of Saproling Migration. Because white-blue, well, sure, white-blue can fumigate. At least I can deal decent amounts of damage until then. 2 copies of Crashing Canopy. This one I'm testing out. I think I'm more likely to run the 4 copies of Reclamation Sage though. And usual 1 cast out, 2 Excellence Binding. I guess there are other options I can use. Right now I'm taking a look at the single copy of Authority of the Consuls I have. This might also work against mono red aggro, but right now I'm pretty much trying to shore up the control matchup. I guess other enchantments that exile would be great. I think another thing I can do is take out. I'm probably gonna take out 1 Rex Sage and put in the Sorcerer's Spyglass. Okay, we have to spell that out, or at least with an O. Yeah, so let's put that 1 copy in here. I think over time, especially after rotation, it's possible that I might bring this up to 2 copies. So there's that. So going to the mana base, we're mostly white, so I'm still keeping 5 forests because our sideboard can be mostly green. So have to keep that in mind. Thank goodness the new 2-color decks, they give you 1 copy of a check land, so we now have 2 copies in, keeping 1 copy of Scattered Groves. Basically, I would much prefer to have this just as 4 copies of Sun Petal Grove. We also need a lot of early mana, so in addition to the Servant Conduit generating some energy, we got Aether Hubs. So it's a bit painful when this becomes our only colored source. So again, we have to be cognizant about the hands we keep. I've kept a lot of weird hands where it's just like 1 Aether Hub, 1 forest, or 1 forest and a bunch of lands that will enter into play tap. So it does mess up your plays a bit. I guess I could skew it more towards plains, but I would have to adjust my sideboard accordingly also. So that is basically 2.5 of Selesnya Pride. I think there are some cards I'm missing. I could actually shift this towards mono white, but we'll give this one a go, especially since this one is supposed to be an update. So this time we're going into competitive constructed. Okay. So okay, pay the piper. And let's see how far we can get to this. I've done pretty decent games of quick constructed with this. No, not quick constructed, quick play. The best of one constructed. I've done pretty decent matchups with this. It's pretty much the untested part is the sideboard. So at least I know I am a bit more confident if I'm facing against mono red or some sort of aggro deck on the get-go. I'm less confident against control. So here, another sketchy hand at best, but we do have a turn 2 Pride Mate. I kind of want to ship this actually. Yeah, I'm gonna ship this. Okay, this one. Now here, I'm hoping our opponent is aggro if I keep this. I'm gonna ditch the Arch of Araska. So basically, what we want is if I see a Bomat Courier, I'd be kind of happy. Okay, Isolated Chapel. Okay, we got some plays, so we'll go for that. So turn 2 Anointer Priest, turn 3 Anointer Priest. We might be able to stop some aggro, especially if this is a vampire setup. We'll actually benefit a bit also. So we're kind of looking for a 5th land at this point. Actually, I would... Actually, considering with some... Our plays are a bit dead, I'm actually okay with letting one of the Anointed Priests die so I can just embalm him later on. So right now we're trying to figure out what our opponent's deck is. I suspect this is Black-White Knights. Or it could be life gain. Okay, it's Knights. So I won't be doing blocking anytime soon. The good news is I can actually go along with my plan. Play the chump block with an Anointed Priest. Just embalm it back. We'll see. Okay, I'm a bit suspicious, but I'm gonna block for now. Okay, so we're gonna trade that. So we're gonna see what our opponent plays. Maybe History Benalia. Okay, History Benalia. That one's a bit expected. So we're also facing off against an aggro token deck that's not that soft. So, okay, Aether Hub. I can cast a Johnny's Pride Mate, but that doesn't do anything. Probably just gonna embalm the... Well, it does something. It is a speed bump against this knight, so I might as well just play it. So, no attacks. And if our opponent for some reason doesn't deal with a Johnny's Pride Mate, Aether Hub, Regal Caracal, everything gets swole. Well, at least the Pride Mate gets swole. If he answers it, okay, Fatal Push answers that. So I can block one of these knights. So we're in it for a bit. So we're in for a world of hurt. But I will play Regal Caracal first. Now, he might have a removal spell, but white-black. I guess there's Moment of Craving. Okay, thank goodness he didn't. So, yet another knight. So, I'm willing to play the Caracal first, just to get a set of blockers. I could also play Tendershoot Dryad first, but that only nets me one blocker. So, let's buff back our life. I'm willing to throw away the second Anointer Priest. And I'm willing to chump the cats onto one of the tokens, I guess. So let's throw away the Anointer Priest. And let's chump the tokens. In fact, I could chump the tokens and chump the Regal Caracal, but that might actually be better. Nah, I'll just hold back the Regal Caracal. So we're still so unless our opponent does something, we're gonna see a healthy 14. Note our opponent missed a few land drops, so he might. So some of the more painful knights like Ariel, Knight of Windgrace. Okay, he's looking at his hand. So Tightsail Freebooter, he's gonna find nothing. So, but we're drawing way too many lands for our good. So thankfully what I could do now is I could actually just play Tendershoot Dryad. Use the token to chump block one of the knights at least. So for the time being, I've gained some semblance of control back. But we might need to be a bit more aggressive. 1, 3, 4. So we're at 9. Our opponent has to answer Tendershoot Dryad or else we're active. He's gonna swing with the 2 knights for sure. Okay. He's not gonna swing with this one because that's just a waste. I think I can take 7 safely. Yeah, I can take the 7 safely. Because what happens now is when Tendershoot Dryad generates another token. Well, let's see. He could still kill the Tendershoot Dryad. Nope. He's just making more knights. So I can now use the tokens to double block the knight per se. I've also got a bit of a setup, so I need to drop the Anointer Priest first. So it will generate me some life back. Tendershoot Dryad will continue to generate life. Then I'm gonna then I'll drop Crested Sunmare later on. I would not be surprised if our opponent tries to use a cast out on Tendershoot Dryad. I would be forced to chump block, but that's sort of okay. No, that's not okay. I need the Tendershoot Dryad to survive, at least to gain life one more time, so that Crested Sunmare will generate a token. Okay, so Kitty's not doing anything, so I'm going to double block and double block. So a single inspired charge is not gonna do it. I am taking a bit of a risk here. Cast out. That's okay. He's casting out the Tendershoot, so I'm not gonna get to off anything. So yep. There's that. I can cast Pride Mate into... I'm taking way too much damage at this point. So I'm not going to show the Crested Sunmare, though I think that one's a bit of an obvious answer. Okay, so... yes, take action. Take action. So no attacks. I'm still chump blocking at this point. In fact, I may have to... so our opponent's critical mana for removal is 4. He does have Fatal Push, but I'm going to sub in Direct Sages. It's also a good way to nuke History Benalia, I guess.
We stand together.
So I need a way to gain life. I won't be able to do both the life gain and the Crested Sunmare at the same time.
Be strong.
Okay, so jump block. Let's take 2. I have to play the Crested Sunmare out. That's the... so at least I do have a blocker. So let's... okay, slightly suboptimal, but I really have no other use for the energy, so that's okay. I'm not gonna drop a Johnny's Pride Mate in, so... none of our opponent's creatures died, so Ajani's just gonna keep buffing everything up. It's actually probably this actually might be better than Huatli for this deck, especially we're considering our mass white. So we're gonna take 3. I don't think I have enough blockers, so this might be an auto lose. Oh no, he's gonna play it safe. History of Benalia. Okay, so looks like our opponent so we've lost this game, that's for certain. So okay. Let's go to the sideboard. At least we know how to work it out. Our opponent's probably gonna adjust likewise too. But let's see. First, Rex Sages come in. Seal Aways come in. I think that's pretty much the ones I want to do. Ajani Yielding comes out too slow. Huatli comes out too weak. Ixalan's Binding could stay, I guess. Anointed Procession goes. We don't necessarily need it. But, so let's see. 25, 50. So need to make 2 more cuts. I guess I could cut Ovia because she's a bit on the slow end too. I'll keep the Pride Sovereign. Keep Crested Sunmare. Okay, maybe cut both for cast out. Yeah, at least that's more flexible. We'll go this way. Let's hope let's hope this deck pans out for us. Let's hope our opponent didn't transform his game plan way too much. So at least we go first. Okay, we got the turn 2 Servant. We can answer most of our opponent's threats, so that's good. So we're hoping to draw into more threats. So play Plains first. Pass the turn. I'm not gonna... Considering our opponent has a lot of must-kill threats, we are not exactly gonna trade with his tokens, so I'm gonna hold out on cycling the cast out for as long as I can. Okay, Sacred Cat, a bit late. So probably gonna eat the Fatal Push, I think. Or he's gonna summon a Knight. Okay, Knight of Malice. And pass the turn here. Because at least I can seal away. No, I can't seal away. It's hexproof from white. Okay, well, I can't answer it anyway, so... Yeah, combat. So we'll take 3. Yeah, I have to... Again, have to be very careful. It's... Another Knight of Malice. Wow. So I'm gonna start cycling cast outs. Well, maybe not all the cast outs. A lot of his stuff is still mono white, so that matters. I'll cycle just 1. So our first target's really gonna be the History of Benalia. But it's not gonna help us if we keep drawing lands. I might be willing to cycle both. No, let's just resolve for now. Okay, yep. We're getting badly flooded. So I'm gonna pass the turn here. So at the very least I can jump with Sacred Cat for that now, but it's not optimal. We really have to hold on to cast out though. He's ready at 4. Kite's still freebooter. Yeah, let's... Can't cast out any of his guys, so I'm just gonna cycle it. Better get something than to get nothing. And I still got a whole bunch of nothing, so... Resolve. You can take the seal away, sure. So, fortunately, he now knows I'm way too flooded at this point. It's a shame that... So I'm in a world of hurt right now. So, come on, give me something I can use. I sided out the Anointed Procession, so I'm not gonna get 2 cats anytime soon. Regal Caracal is probably a better play. Actually... Okay, let's attack first. Because I am flooded in mana anyway, so... And I'm probably not gonna block anytime soon. Let's see if it... Okay, it's not gonna bait the removal spell. That's way too optimistic. So... Cradle comes down. I could use a Pride Sovereign right about now. Does he have a cast down? That'd be annoying. I think he has to cast down, yep. I still got the cats. Opponent probably land flooded himself. So really in for a world of hurt. Now he draws the Vona he needs. Anointer Priest way too late. So we're slightly out of danger. We might actually... I'm actually hoping he attacks with Vona, but he can just activate in his own turn, so it will mess up combat math. It's got history, but now, yeah. This one was the first game was probably a lot closer than the second game, which is to say, not much at all. So 3, 6, 7. Yeah, I have to chump block with everyone. I guess sideboard I can put a sweeper in. It's still life gain, still kinda works with Crested Sunmare. Fatal push. Okay, let that resolve. And he can answer by paying 7 life. So yeah, this game is kinda lost to begin with. Yep. Yeah, we had to go for it. So yeah, we literally just got flooded. So this one's not so great. I actually feel so bad saying that I might have to do this one again. Well, the good game's a bit of a lie, but can't be helped. So first game not so auspicious. Could I have mulliganed that hand? Probably in hindsight I should have. So it appears that the magic number is I kind of want 3. I kind of want 3 mana on hand and 4 action. But another thing to note is most of my removal was skewed towards white. I originally had Ambuscade in the previous deck list. I, for some reason, decided to drop it in favor of more creatures. In hindsight, that seems to be a mistake. Sure, it would... So what I probably should do is, cards like the Seal Away should go... I can opt to use Rabid Bite instead, I suppose. That's probably one thing I could do. Well, Rabid Ambuscade is slightly better, especially if I have to take out the 2-drop with a 1-drop token. With a 1/1 token. And it would be instant speed at least. Another option is probably Nature's Way. Sorcery speed as well. Yeah. We need to have removal that's not all white. And some reason I am not getting matched up. Let's cancel that. Try that again. So that was slightly... I wouldn't say that's slightly weird. Let's check. Okay, good. Not at least we're not facing off the same opponent, though. I don't know. Would I have wanted to get another shot at the deck? I probably would. I'll be honest, I'm a bit tired of looking at Teferi's smug look. Not necessarily in the profile. Profile's kind of okay, but looking at his Planeswalker, I'm kind of getting tired of it. Okay, so this is... we have an Ajani's Pride of Ovia into Ajani's Pride Mate. No real life gain just yet. We could cycle cast out if we have to. I'm playing a lot of these not so great hands, but I'm willing to go for it. So we need to hit 4. At least we can answer some things, but we kind of need more payoff at this point. An anointer priest would be actually quite great here. So opponent's making his decision. Okay. Gosh, playing white blue. Is he playing white blue? Let's see. Ovia is not gonna do it herself though. He is? Okay, so it is white blue. Okay, drew the anointed procession I did not necessarily need. Okay, let's see if this eats an essence scatter. So with... Okay, so the essence scatter is there. So I am going to shift to Saproling Clan later. Again, the anointed procession's gonna go. I might start making some tokens with Ovia, if nothing else. At least I got Legion's Landing. Would I want to play anointed procession first? Okay, I'm gonna go into combat first, attack with her. So no damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna cycle. Let's see if we can learn more about what our opponent's deck is. Though I think this is just okay, definitely gonna cycle because we really need that 4th land. Okay, we got the 4th land. We're gonna play Ixalan's Binding first.
I have faced worse than the likes of you.
So let's see what Aether Hub, Concealed Courtyard. Oh, so he's Esper. Okay, we're gonna make him pay for it. Actually, no, I'll let him take this because it comes into play tap. Okay, so we got the lands we need at least. So next turn, I can play Anointed Procession into Legion's Landing. Actually, okay, let's tap the mana correctly. Because if he counters this first one, I'm just going to play Sacred Cat. Okay, no. Legion's Landing. A Fumigate is possible, so... that might hurt a bit. Oh, he had the negate. He didn't negate the first one, he's just going to negate... that was clever. So next turn... okay, he seems to be stuck. I'm slightly stuck too, but you know what? Let's play the cat. Not gonna play the Pride Sovereign just yet. Just okay, so we... so let's see. Maybe we can make him use a Fumigate. Seems to be stuck at 5 though. Let's see. Let's start beating down slightly. I'm gonna hold the cat back. So I'm gonna end the turn. I can just make the creatures later. If he tries to cast out Ovia, I'm going to make I'm gonna make large creatures in response. Murder. Most foul. So he's probably gonna Fumigate now. He's also it also opens to a potential torrential Gearhulks, so I need to be careful. Can't play around it forever though. Okay, I'm gonna ignore him saying that. Could just be bait. I have to attack first though, that's a problem. At the very least, let's get the murder off the board. So yep, torrential gearhulk as predicted. So he's gonna murder the two big ones, that's okay. So get some damage in. So at least I don't have to worry about murder off the grave, from the grave. So I'm gonna play Pride Sovereign now. So I'm probably gonna just keep buffing it bigger. He's probably gonna just kill the Pride Sovereign at this point now if he has murder. If he doesn't, I'll play the Anointed Procession. Oh, okay, let's play the Anointed Procession. So he's gonna disallow that. That's okay. Let that resolve. So I'm gonna combat. So start beating down. So the nice thing is I can embalm the Sacred Cat. He's probably not gonna block it. Yep. So there's that. So end the turn. Probably gonna try to play Teferi if he can. He probably has. Okay. No blocks. I'll take the 5. Let's see. Oh, no fumigate. So he might still have a disallow. In which case, oh, seal away. That's okay. I wanted the cats. So now he's taking 6. I'm gonna hold back on the Tender Shoot Dryad. I don't think he's seen it yet, so he might presume that this is just a cat team deck. Oh, he got the concession through, so he probably is gonna sideboard in the Fumigate now. So we need to be fast. We might want our own Rex Sage. Okay, so let's drop the slow cards. So Johnny goes, Watley goes, Binding goes, Cast Out goes in. Okay, probably drop the Anointed Procession for Saproling. No, let's make it 3 Rex Sages and the Saproling Migration. Guess I could drop the. Okay, I'm gonna drop I'm just gonna keep 1 Anointed Procession. Let's see if card count is right. Yep. 25, 25, 60. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it like that. So our opponent's removal is more enchantment based at this point, so we will definitely get some use out of Rex Sage. Well, he could just have sided in Fumigate, so the Rex Sage could be embarrassing. So this is not a good hand for us, even if we can draw this in. So I'm gonna mulligan this. We need a more aggressive hand. This one's better. Turn 1 Legion's Landing. We just need another mana. So I'm gonna keep this one. Rex Sage goes in the bottom. So okay. Turn 1 Sacred Cat. Turn 2 Legion's Landing. Let's see if he doesn't counter it. He might have Fatal Push. So we might not flip this anytime soon. So we're gonna play Mentor of the Meek first, since that's the more must-kill guy. I could just play I could play a single copy of Pride Sovereign first, so that if I draw into a fort land. No, let's play Mentor of the Meek first. It's probably gonna get countered, which is okay. Probably gonna get murdered. Kinda okay at this point, actually. Yep, as predicted, the murder is there. So opponent's hitting his mana, I suppose. Current Sign of Urza. So we're gonna start hitting this guy.
I will fight for my friends. A curious choice.
He can have the Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. I just have a suspicion that his mana might be a bit on the short side. So let's produce the Pride Sovereign. So if I have a choice, I'm gonna go for flipping Legion's Landing first, since we are a bit stuck on mana. I probably should have just tried to... Actually, no, it's not. If he makes tokens with it, it's kind of okay for now. So I probably should start hitting. So Murder versus Disallow. He can take the Disallow. So got the 4th mana, that's the good news. So if he disallows this one, should have gone for it, I suppose.
Retribution will be swift.
Okay, we'll see if he decides to counter this guy. So, okay. He's probably gonna counter this one. Which is sort of okay if I didn't have a Pride Sovereign stranded, but my next play is to just flip Legion's Landing anyway. Hope for and drop Lyra Dawnbringer, so he's still gonna keep on digging for cards, kinda expected. I'll let him keep the negate. Okay, so no blocks. I can afford to take the damage. So in fact, I'm going to attack with just 3 creatures, just enough to flip Legion's Landing. He might have settle man. Well, he could settle if he wanted to.
Please do not do that.
So I'm gonna just hold this up right now, I guess. I don't feel like I need to drop Lyra right now. So just he knows he has to respond first, so I'm expecting a Fumigate at least. In which case I can start rebuilding with Adanto the first fort, then drop Lyra. He's not attacking though.
I'll make use of that later.
You can take the island. So next turn, just make another Torrential Gearhulk into Murder, I suppose. Yeah, he's gonna murder the Pride Sovereign. So we'll make our token in response. We still have an anointed procession, so it's going to combat. Attack. Okay, so at least I nuked the glint sleeve siphoner.
This will not deter me.
So we will play Anointed Procession and Sacred Cat. So now our Adanto the First Fort is going to start producing more tokens. Opponent should be playing... Okay, what's he drawing back?
This will aid us.
He got back Murder. So I'm going to hold back on Lyra for a while. He's welcome to kill one of my tokens, I suppose. In fact, if he just keeps holding these back... Okay, can't cast Servant anyway, so... Going to combat. I could make him think I'm stranded on green mana, which is kind of true. In which case, I do want him to cast Settle. So, end the turn here. Again, no need to risk Lyra until I make him use his cards. He's got plenty of them to do anyway. Murder on the tokens. Just fine, I suppose. So we got our opponent to use his expensive spell on one of our cheap kind of free creature anyway. So he'll attack. He's not gonna attack. So next turn, make more. Now this time I am kind of willing to bait him with once. He has negate, so that kind of counters it. So I'm gonna bait him with one Sacred Cat. If he settles now, that's the best he's gonna ever get, because he's not regaining life any quickly. Torrential Gearhulk. Okay, let's see what he gets. I'm gonna make him cast a spell first. Okay. Resolve. Destroy that one. So in response, that was a poor use of mana. Well, at least I did. But at least there was an open window, so that's 1 out of 2 Torrential Gearhulks down. He's gonna take... No, I'll take the damage. So finally hit our green mana. So first things first is we're going to attack. So he's used up his Murder multiple times. So I could actually cast Lyra. But... Okay. So I'm going to make him use up his counter since you're not gonna get any better. So yeah, we'll end the turn here. Just keep using Adanto. Free Embalm is off. Free Embalm, even if it's a little more expensive, is perfectly fine. He could still settle and negate, so I'm not gonna go all greedy just yet. So I'm expecting a settle right now. Let's see how he taps his mana. Seal away. Sure. Probably should have blocked one of the... Well, that is another way to do it. So it... Maybe not too bad. At least I know Rex Sage can wreck Torrential Gearhulk. And it is kind of in the way. So I'm gonna just cast the Saproling Migration without Kicker. Let's force him to use that negate. Basically, the more resources we can strip from his hand, the better. So that was literally just throwaway. And end the turn. I'll be annoyed if he had some sort of graveyard removal, but so far he isn't there just yet. So, more tokens. So, that one single copy of Anointed Procession turned out to be just correct. So, let's see. I'm gonna cast a Johnny's Pride Mate first. He has to counter it. So this one in a way is about discipline. How long can I hold? It's a lot of mana though. Torrential Gearhulk number... Okay. This time he's gonna buy back Essence Scatter. So that's okay. So I'm still gonna attack with everyone. And I'm still gonna go with the token making plan. Okay, I tapped the mana wrong, so I can't... Okay, my turn. I should have cast Pride Sovereign. So... That said... Let's see him counter this. Is this Torrential number 4? Did we get the... Oh, Spell Swindle. So he gets a few treasures. That's okay. So the fewer cards he has in hand, the less likely he is to... The less likely he is to be able to counter Lyra. I might need to start prioritizing card drawing now. Cast out... Let's see him. What does he target? He could just target my cast out. Oh, he's targeting Anointed Procession, which is perfectly fine. So let's make our last tokens. If he disallows in response, I'm gonna go for Lyra. Okay, he disallowed in response as predicted. This could be another counter spell, so... No blocks. He could still have a murder of some sort. So at least I'm going to draw a card off this one. So combat, attack, no attacks, end turn. So now he's also drawing for cards too. So we're not generating 2 tokens anymore. But we did force our opponent to answer. cycle. He might just kill Lyra in response. Okay, so we do get an Adorned Pouncer and a Tender Shoot Dryad. So we're gonna go into combat first. In a manner of speaking, I don't have to blow these guys yet. He needs to answer this ASAP. I'll take the damage. And that's it. We win this game. So we held on to Lyra for the longest time until the coast was relatively clear. So there is a discipline. So you do need to have some discipline when playing against control decks as well. So we're gonna take a, let's see, how much time did we spend on here? So I'm gonna pause this video for, I'm gonna pause this episode for now. We're gonna see this one again next time. It's a bit less than an hour, but some of these games can last pretty long. That last one was unbelievably long, but we're gonna give this one a little break. So that's it for this episode for now. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, everyone.